Yo, what it do? I'm Naye Liggines. We back with another episode of Elevation Talks. I know it's been a minute. It's been like 6 or 7 months, but who's counting? Okay. I know y'all wondering where I've been, what I've been doing, and this episode we about to get into all of that. So stay tuned. Keep up. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.
Y'all, listen. When I tell y'all life has been crazy. Life has been crazy. But it's been crazy in a good way. You know what I'm saying? I know that like 2024 for me has been truly full of ups and downs. You feel me? But the one thing that I will say, man, God has literally carried me. You hear me? Throughout this entire year, and I'm beyond grateful. And Holy Spirit, shout out to you for constantly ordering my steps, even when I didn't feel like showing up, even when I didn't know what was going on, even when I was unsure about the moves that I was making. Bruh, listen. Bruh has been carrying me, holding me down, and so I gotta give honor where honor is due. Thank you, Lord. You hear me? So, let me take y'all on the journey of 2024. It's wild, so sit back. As y'all see, I got a drink. Don't judge me. You hear me? God loves me and he gonna still use me even with my habits. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So listen. As y'all know, for those of y'all that don't know that y'all are new here, what it do? I'm Naye Liggines, aka Naye the Gym Dropper. And Elevation Talks, man, it's really just me telling y'all about my real stories, my real life, and how God has literally been writing my story the entire time. You feel what I'm saying? I'm very real. I'm very authentic. I don't show up as anybody else but myself, habits and all. You feel what I'm saying? So, you see I got a drink. If you judging me, that's not your job. You see what I'm saying? But anyway. But listen, man. Let me walk y'all through 2024 for me. So I started the year in a space of rock bottom. And I really got to stop calling it rock bottom because God was really transforming my life. But I didn't realize it yet. So just to kind of give y'all a little background, in 2023, April of 2023, I got laid off from my job. But before I got laid off from my job, I had started like really getting into making motivational videos, right? And so it was like I was at my job. I felt so stuck. I felt so stagnant. And I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere. They wouldn't give me a raise. They wouldn't give me a promotion. Like just very much nothing. You see what I'm saying? And so I remember I had told God that I didn't have time to do what he's called me to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so already like just burnt out from, you know what I'm saying, being overworked, underpaid. Y'all know how the story go, right? And so literally, man, it seemed like when I told God, and I know, first of all, that's real bold to say to God, Lord, I don't have time to do what you called me to do. I'm talking about you got to have real balls to even say something like that to God, right? And so literally what happened was, it seems like after I said that, probably like a week or two had went by, and next thing I know, I was getting laid off. And I remember sitting in the room with the HR lady and the micromanager. And it was like, I said, Lord, you ready to do this right now? Hold on now. We finna do this now? I said, okay. And so literally, man, the next day, like after my layoff, the next day I woke up, I didn't feel heavy. I didn't feel like, it was like I knew it was God literally cleaning my plate so that I would have room to do what he's called me to do. And so that's when I literally started taking a deeper dive into creating products for Elevation Talks. For y'all that know and don't know, I got some journals. I got a to-do list pad out. You feel me? Write it down, make it plain. I got a journal called Rise and Thrive. It's so much fruit that has been produced, bro, since I have gotten laid off. And even this podcast has come to life. You feel what I'm saying? And so literally going into 2024, I was still laid off. And so I had just kept telling my family and friends, God gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know when he gonna do it. But all I know is he's going to do it. You hear me? And so literally, I'm, still making my content, still dropping gems, just pretty much just going on through the year. Now, February comes around and I have a client he's been my client for about, 5 or 6 years now. And he had called me, and this is how you know, man, people really don't know what you be going through, right? So he had called me one day and he was like, hey, how you doing? He was like, listen, I know you're an entrepreneur. I know that you're not looking for a 9-to-5, but I have a really great opportunity and I think it's perfect for you. Can you at least take the meeting? And so I'm like, he don't know that I'm actually looking for a job. You see what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay. But I wasn't desperate. And that's another thing too. My family really started trying to talk to me like, yo, why don't you just take any job just to, for the sake of having some income coming in? And it was just like, listen, man, I'm really trusting God. Like, he's not leading me to just take anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not desperate. Like, yes, my bank account is in the negative. Yes, my pockets are empty. And I know that's like, oh, well, you should be desperate, bro. I wasn't desperate still. Like, very much leaning on God, very much allowing him to lead and I follow, right? So I still was waking up every morning, having my intentional time, writing down my prayers, the whole thing. You feel me? And so literally when I got that phone call from my client, I was like, okay, I'll take the meeting. I'll see what it's about, right? So he was like, send me like your resume and like basically like your portfolio. So I was like, all right, cool. So I had emailed it to him and I ain't heard back from bruh for like a week or two. And I was just like, oh, here we go. Like another dead end situation, right? So out of nowhere, I get an email from, somebody on their team or whatever. And they like, yeah, we want to set up an interview. So I'm like, all right, cool. I take the meeting. During the meeting, this lady telling me, she was like, yeah, you basically going to be in a position to create your own job. And so she was like, basically with the work that you do, like, we need somebody like you who is creative, who can take, the initiative to basically turn our thoughts into, like a reality type energy. And so I'm like, that's what I do now. Like, if you know me, I turn dreams into reality. Like, that's what I do. Like, I'm an execution strategist. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me for real. So I'm like, all right, bet. So she was like, yeah, just like basically what you should do like right now is create the job title, like create the position. You know what I'm saying? And send it to me. And so I'm like, okay. So I got off the phone with her. Y'all, I was sitting in this very seat. Do you hear me? This office, that's a whole nother story. I got to tell y'all about this space. But I was sitting here and I got off the call with her. And I was just like, I'm like, Lord, you want me to create my own job? Now, here's the thing about God, right? He'll tell you to do something in one season and you probably won't even use it until the next season. Because like during that previous season, when I was like creating my journals and, just like allowing my creativity to flow, I was using different resources that I didn't even realize I was going to use for this upcoming opportunity, right? So it was really my way of getting familiar with all of this stuff and even being confident enough to build, you feel me? So I get to a point where I'm like, at first I wasn't finna entertain the job situation because I was like, bro, I ain't even gonna hold you. This sounds too good to be true, okay? But then I was like, is it too good? Like, you more than capable. You've been talking about you a boss all your life. And I'm like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, cool. So it's time for you to be a boss. You hear me? Like, somebody wants to basically, create your own job, let them know what you want them to pay you, and they're gonna see. So I said, okay. So I took my time one day to just sit. I did some research and I came up with the job title, the job description, the pathway for the job, the salary for the job, literally everything that you need for the job, right? So I sent the lady the email and I thought I was going to hear something within the next 2 or 3 days or something. Nothing but crickets, right? And I was like, okay, man, whatever. So I stopped thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't sitting up here twiddling my thumbs, wondering if they was going to do it, when they was going to do it. Like, I'm just like, Lord, if you see fit for me to have that, you'll make it happen. And this was really a really interesting time because one of the main gospel songs that I was listening to at that time was oh my goodness, I'm losing his name. Is it Zakari? Do It For Me. Y'all look it up. Y'all figure it out. And so I'm like, if you don't know the song, it's just like, Lord, like, do it for me. Like, and you just got to listen to the lyrics of this song, bro. Like, I'm telling you, this song was so pivotal, like, in that season. Because it's like, Lord, if you don't do it, it just won't be done. You feel me? And it's like, he would say, Lord, fix it for me. You feel what I'm saying? Lord, do it for me. Like, Lord, I have a problem that only you can solve. Like, bruh, man, this song, y'all, I'm telling you, if y'all ain't never heard this song, go listen to this song. It's going to speak to you. Do you hear me? So this song is like, just constantly in my mind. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about nothing. Like, I'm just literally just going with the flow, right? So I want to say about 3 weeks had went by. And mind you, I hadn't talked to this lady again, right? Man, bro, I had checked my email this particular day. And one thing about me, I'm going to check my email. Now, not right now because I got over 1,000 emails that I need to go through. But in real life, I really do be checking my email, okay? Like, I check that junk daily. I don't know why. It's a habit of mine, right? So I'm like, all right, so I check my email and I see onboarding. You know, I'm like, onboarding. So I open the email. The email is like, congratulations. Like, basically it was telling me that I had the job. Our HR team was impressed with the job that you created for yourself. We agreed to your salary terms. I mean, I ain't have to go in here and negotiate nothing. Do you hear what I'm saying? And for the description, I literally put the things that I know how to do, like that I be doing now. You know what I'm saying? Content creation, overseeing like the creativity process for different things, and just basically me just literally showing up to be me. You feel me? Showing up to do me, right? And so within the email, it was like, oh, now the email came in like April, right? I told you I talked to my client back in like February, right? So literally, yeah, that whole like month of March, it was just like silent. So I see in the email, it's like, yeah, we want you to meet with our Atlanta team. You know, just XYZ, what day is good for you to come in so you can meet the team, blah, da, 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 da. And so I'm like, bro, like, is this real? And so I'm like, I checked the email address, because if you know me, I'm looking. And so I checked the email address, and it was, you know, like an official email account. I'm like, bro, oh my God. So literally, man, that was literally the start of Overflow for me, and I had no idea what I was getting ready to get into, y'all. I'm talking about, I literally And I have a video. I'm going to play the video for y'all of my first day walking into that building. And it was just like, I am only in this space because of God. Like, nobody but God, bro. Like, nobody in my family, my friends, nobody. Like, yeah, I have entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying, as friends and stuff like that, who's created, you know what I'm saying, their job, their company, the whole thing. But I don't know anybody that has actually created their own job in a corporate space. You know what I'm saying? And so this was just breaking barriers on so many levels, bro. Like, it had nothing to do with my degree. It had nothing to do with, like, you know what I'm saying, my accolade. No, this was off of relationship. Do you hear me? Like, this was off of me having a relationship with God, trusting in Him, trusting in the process, trusting in His plans, trusting in His timing, believing even when the situation didn't even seem like it was going to change. Do you hear me? Like, there was nothing in sight. I was applying for jobs constantly, and all you seeing is no, 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 no. I'm talking about stuff that I'm overqualified for. Stuff that I should have had, bro. You hear me? And so it's just like, yo, I literally got this opportunity off the strength of who I know, which is God. You hear me? And one of the things that we say at Dream Center, I'm finna give y'all this. God is going to use, because I am a tither and because I am a believer, boom, boom. God is going to give me access to doors of promotion, doors of opportunity, doors of increase, ba-da-da-da-da. You hear me? And also within that saying that we do, it says God is going to use somebody somewhere who is going to use their resources, their influence, and their affluence to help us. And I mean, just literally, y'all, Pastor Murphy always say what I'm saying. If you don't say it with your mouth, you can't have it. You hear me? And so literally, I was still showing up to church. I was still doing all of those things. And so I was also still saying that. You hear me? And so fast forward, I go meet with the Atlanta team, man. I accept the job. And everybody, like, as I was walking through there, everybody's just like, when they realized like who I was, I would introduce myself, and they like, yo, so-and-so's been talking about you. Like, it's finally nice to put a face with a name. And I was like, he been talking about me? They're like, oh my God, I've heard your name for years. Like, we've just never met. And I was just like, wow, like, okay. And so it took me back to that moment of like, y'all know when y'all hear that saying, God is gonna, or your name is being mentioned in rooms that your feet has not even entered yet. Like that, I was literally walking through everything that I had been saying and believing in, bro. And so literally, man, golly. So I accept the job, man. And immediately I started feeling like, imposter syndrome. Like, can I really do this? Like, am I talented enough to even have this opportunity? Like, because I know a few other people that's super dope, like that's better video editors than me, better this than me, better everything than me. You hear me? But the one thing that I never said, which is the game changer, is I never said like that nobody had like a better relationship than me. You feel me? Like nobody prayers sounds like my prayers. Nobody is getting up at 6 a.m, spending time with God. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody walk is my walk. You feel me? And that's basically the difference maker. It's not about you being the best at whatever it is that you do. It's literally just about you, you know what I'm saying, trusting God and His plans and His process for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter that somebody else is greater than you when it comes to certain things. Like, if God qualify you, it don't matter about nobody else and what they got going on or what they could do. God chose you to do it. You feel me? And so that's what I had to start really like pouring into myself. And I had some friends that was like, you know what I'm saying, like basically pouring into me too and telling me the same things, which I'm super grateful for, because a few years prior to that, I felt like I didn't have any friends that was able to like pour into me the way that I would pour into other people. And so one of the things that I started praying was, Lord, please bring me more purposeful friends. You know what I'm saying? More people that can pour into me and you know what I'm saying? Just this whole thing. And so it's like prayer still changes things. You hear me? So if you don't remember nothing else that I say, remember that prayer still changes things, yo. Like that. And I'm talking about, it don't matter how big the prayer is, how small the prayer is. Prayer still changes things. Okay, I said it a few times. Okay, so boom. So I took the job, and then I started experiencing overflow. But I also started getting nervous because I just like, dang, I stopped believing in myself, but I got scared, right? But I still was showing up. Even when you're scared, still do it. Okay, great. So that was in April, right? So for y'all that don't know, woo, about to get to him. Hey, so for y'all that don't know, when God is active in your life, right? I mean, and this is also just everything, right? When God is active in your life, it's not just, he don't just like fix one area. You know what I'm saying? Like he started literally going through whatever you've been praying about, whatever areas you've been praying about, you can best believe you're going to start seeing, bro, just like sprinkling different things within different areas, right? So I had already been like on this journey of like my relationships and stuff, right? That's a whole nother video, whatever, okay? So I had been going through this journey, and I'm just like, I had got to a point like, I'm making some money, like I'm having a good time. I'm like, shoot, yeah, man, like I'm ready to see what's up. Like I'm ready to see what's out here for me, right? And so I'm not gonna lie, like I had my eye on somebody that I was very interested in, but it was just like I had kept feeling like something missing. And plus she was long distance and stuff. And I was like, nah, I'm not with that. Like, I need my girl here in Atlanta. Like, and she had even spoke this over me. Me and her had a conversation, and I was just like, yeah, I'm ready for a girlfriend. But like, she got to be here, woo. And she like, you're not even finna be in Atlanta. Like, it don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm there or not, like, you're not even finna be there. And it's like, I need my girlfriend here. You feel what I'm saying? And I was firm on that. And so basically, fast forward, me and her, like I was getting ready to date somebody. And so, me and her had parted ways and stuff. And so this girl that I ended up dating, bro, when I tell you, it felt like God had answered all of my prayers, bro. Like, this was the most compatible relationship that I had been in, like, at that point, right? I'm talking about everything that I had wanted, or at least what I thought I wanted, shorty was having. You hear me? Like, she was having motion. She was like really interested in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would have intellectual conversations, like it was just a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, we both was on some dream chaser energy, but it was just like, it felt like some power couple type energy. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, you know what I'm saying? And so, me and her, we started dating, we fall in love, and I ain't gonna lie, I proposed to her. I know you like, yeah, bro, I proposed to this girl like 2 or 3 months after us officially like dating and stuff. And we had been like associates before we started dating and stuff. So we was familiar with each other, but it was never like on that level, you know what I'm saying, that we had got to. And so even in the midst of that relationship, bro, I kept telling God, I'm talking about y'all, when I tell y'all I was in overflow, bro, through my job, I was taking trips. I was traveling, and that was something that I had been wanting to do. Shoot, on the other end of it, I was in the relationship that I had always dreamed of. Like, we started having vacations and all of that. I'm talking about, y'all, I was literally having overflow in every area. Do you hear me? And I had kept saying out loud, I was still having my intentional time, and I would tell God, Lord, I'm in awe of what you're doing. I'm in awe so much that I'm not even showing up as my best self. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when it came to the job, I was slacking. Like, I was very laxed. I wasn't, and it was remote. Bruh, I was all in Miami just living life and working. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like, I really started getting beside myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would tell people around me, like, hey, I'm drowning in overflow. Can you pray for me? Can you pray for me? I still was authentic throughout my entire, like, space of overflow. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, on the outside, everybody looking in like, oh, Naye popping big shit. Nah, bro, like, I appreciate you seeing that I'm having motion and all of that, but I'm really drowning. You know what I'm saying? And I had some people around me like, that's why you got to be careful for what you pray for. And it's like, or you need to be ready for what you pray for. And it's just like, yo, you doing a lot with that energy. But it's like, when you having your prayers, don't forget to ask God to equip you. You know what I'm saying? Like, help you maintain all the things that he's providing, but also like prepare you. You know what I'm saying, for what he's providing, so that you can be a good steward over it and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just like, I had felt like I had some hate around me, because it was like, that was the energy, like, I guess you can't handle what you've been praying for. And it's just like, instead of you hating and coming to me with that energy, pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Sit me down and just be like, yo, like, you know, now we need to go back to the drawing board. Like, you know how people just give you that energy and it's like, I can't even talk to you because you're not really understanding where I'm at, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that. And so literally, man, that relationship, the job was drowning me. The relationship started to drown me. Like, I started being unhappy, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was just like, I started realizing, I remember I had my intentional time one morning. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I was outside on the balcony, right? And I was just like, Lord, if this relationship don't work out, like, it's cool. I've enjoyed it. Like, I've learned a lot. Like, it has shown me a lot. Like, experiencing that relationship, it actually showed me that I was tired. You feel what I'm saying? It showed me how tired I was. It showed me how paralyzed I was. Like, I was struggling to plan dates. I was struggling to, like, really just, again, show up as my best self. But at the same time, I started seeing a different side of her where it's like, who is that? You feel what I'm saying? And so I feel like for the both of us, that relationship I'm not going to say it was a karmic relationship. It was the first healthy relationship that both of us had. And one of the things that I feel like nobody tells you about, and this is a whole nother video, but nobody talks to you about what that transition period looks like, from going from relationships that drain you to a healthy relationship where it's like, well, dang, like, I'm so tired from all this previous stuff. Now I'm just ready to kick my feet up now that I'm here. And it's like, nah, even when you make it to your destination, whatever it is, you still have to do the work to maintain that space. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you're too tired to maintain it, you're not going to maintain it, right? And so, so literally, man, like, I started recognizing that the relationship wasn't rooted in God. Like, and I remember, again, having my intentional time, and God had asked me, come on, stop. He had asked me, man, he was like, so now that you have everything you want, you know, you got the dream job, you got the dream relationship, you drowning, but you've never been here before. Are you going to choose me or them? And it was just like, Lord, I love everything that I got. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope being here, but I have to choose you. Like, I didn't hesitate to choose God. Even throughout the space where I was drowning, I still was being authentic. I still was saying, yo, I'm struggling. God, help me. I was telling people to pray for me. Like, and I wasn't just telling anybody to pray for me. I was telling people that really had a relationship with God to pray for me. And so, literally, man, I was being tested. I was being tempted. Like all of my habits and the different things that I still need to work on was very present. I was staring at it in his face, man. And I had chose God, bro. I was like, I'm not finna let this stuff like control me and consume me, because that's what it was doing. Like, me and the girl ended up breaking up. Like the engagement, called off and everything. And it was just like, in everybody's eyes, it's like, oh, another failed engagement. Naye, here you go. And it's just like, bro, y'all have no idea what that relationship did for me, like, on a positive side and from a negative space, right? But it was just like, I remember asking God, like, bro, how did this not work? How did this not work? Like, she was perfect. Like, she came with this, she came with that. I mean, like, how did it not work? And he gonna say, well, wouldn't it have been better if the relationship was rooted in me? And it's like, well, yeah. And so it's like, okay, don't you want somebody that's rooted in me? And it's like, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, he started making you think. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I went through the breakup, privately and quietly. And, only a few people had knew, like, off top. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had, even within that relationship, I had already said, like, oh, this relationship is for me. So I never even brought her around my family. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, you ain't been on my journey, so you don't understand all of that. But literally, like, that relationship was for me, man. And so it was like, I thought it was just me not bringing her around, because it was like, oh, it wasn't like, oh, I didn't want nobody to meet her. Like, she had her reasons as to why she wasn't, she wanted to grow into the whole meeting the family and stuff like that. And so, like, and that was on both sides of the table. I didn't meet anybody. I didn't meet any of her family. I only met her close friends, and she only met my close friends. And so I didn't realize that the reason for that was because that was going to be a short-lived relationship. That relationship probably lasted 4 months, maybe. And so, and I don't have no regrets. I know people, I'm like, oh, you proposed too soon. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. You're going to have your story, whatever. And so, I don't have no regrets, but it's like, that definitely taught me a lot. It showed me a lot. And it's just like, I needed to go through that, because it's like, that relationship, like, healed that tiredness that I had been experiencing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that joint actually helped position me to love from a different space. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, it was a space that grew me. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I had felt like, it's like I had been growing in my previous relationships, but it wasn't on that level. You know what I'm saying? And so literally, I literally started grounding myself. Like, even before the breakup, I started telling her, like, yo, I'm drowning. Like, I need to really get my life back in order. Like, I had felt like I had stopped doing everything. And I had felt that way before the relationship. Like, I had stopped doing the podcast. I had stopped doing content heavy, because it was like, I was so tired. Like, when you on this journey, bro, like, and it's just you, it's easy to get burnt out, because there's that constant thing of you are wearing every hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have nobody to really help you, you know what I'm saying, take care of the things that you need to take care of. You are the go-to person for everybody. So it's like, everybody still needs you. They pulling you, you know what I'm saying, in different ways or whatever. And you still showing up for them. And then when it comes to you, you have little to give self. You feel what I'm saying? So it was just like, I was constantly just like burning myself out, man. So literally, like I had just started out. I had kept telling God that during my intentional time too, like, Lord, I want to get back to doing all the things that I was doing before I started experiencing overflow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that same hunger and drive to come back. And I had felt defeated because it was just like you had been asking God for overflow and he finally give it to you and you drown. You don't even know what to do with it. You don't even stew it over it. Like, I was really hard on myself, and it was like at some point I had to start giving myself grace because it's like, bruh, this is actually the first time that we've experienced overflow. So you can't be mad. Like, you just gotta learn from it. You feel what I'm saying? Because just like you gotta know that if God did it before, he's gonna do it again. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, shoot, learn your lessons and apply them so that way when the opportunities do resurface, you're ready. You feel me? So, man, like I had started really grounding myself where it was like I started like fighting back within the relationship where it's like, I'm not finna let you walk all over me. I'm not finna be your punching bag. Like, you're not finna play with me mentally or emotionally. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, just everything. Like, and I'm not saying I was perfect in the relationship or anything, but it was just like, yeah, nah, like, I gotta start fighting back, bruh. And so, and not just within the relationship, but just in general. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get back to the things that helped me even get here in the first place. You know? And so, literally, man, like, I started, instead of being remote, I started showing up to work. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like I couldn't really get work done at home because there was just always so many distractions. And so literally, man, I just started showing up to work. It was just like piece by piece, I started taking my life back. And so, like I said, we had broke up and stuff. And I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was just like, damn, like this is crazy. But it was like I knew it was for the best, but it still stung. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like I just started really just like, once again, like, Lord, how did this not work, bro? Like, what are you showing me? Y'all have to be careful when y'all ask God questions, bro, because when he start revealing to you what he been trying to show you, it's like, oh, and it's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta know, like, oh, okay, this is what you've been trying to show me. This is what you've been trying to teach me. And so, man, literally, bro, like, that's where I've been, bro. I've been on a hiatus, man. I just been trying to get my life. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my life back. And so, literally, like, piece by piece, God has literally just been, like, bringing it back together. You know what I'm saying? Bringing it back to what it was supposed to be in the first place. And it's just, like, it has also shown me to, like, stick with the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went back to my, there's this list that I have that I wrote back in 2021. And it just talks about, like, what I want in my next relationship, what I want in my next partner, marriage, the whole thing. And so when I go back to this list, and the list is not shallow or anything, like, this is real, like, it's a solid list, you feel me? And so I went back to the list and it was just like, had you stuck to this list, and this is a list that I felt like God has helped me with, because when I wrote it, I was, at the time that I wrote it, I wasn't in a position to write it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, out of nowhere, it was just like, yo, start writing this stuff down. And so I did. And so literally, man, I started looking at that list and it was like, yeah, had you stuck to the blueprint, you would have seen that this don't meet that, this don't meet that, this don't meet that. But it was like I still had to experience it in order to come up out of that tiredness that I was experiencing. You know what I'm saying? I had to come up out of a lot of things that I was experiencing. And it was just like I needed that, you know? And so, like I said, definitely don't have no regrets. Slowly but surely, like, experiencing overflow again, but on a more mature level. You know what I'm saying? Like, very much like, we done took the training wheels off. I know how to ride the bike now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just very much just like, oh, snap. Like, okay. And it was just like, cool. I'm grateful that I'm getting the opportunity to, like, just re-experience Overflow, but on a different level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it allowed me to still recognize the different things that I needed to let go of. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still letting go of. Like, you know that saying, like, oh, healing is an ongoing journey? Like, nah, for real. Like, it's an ongoing journey. And that, whatever you healing from, it's an ongoing journey. So, my advice to you is just keep growing through it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, like, keep growing through it. But yeah, man, I had during that time of like after the breakup, and I just started getting back to like God and me, and I just started planning this fourth quarter elevation. Now, I had already started planning this fourth quarter elevation meetup, but it was like the girl that I was engaged to at the time, she was gonna help me host it and the whole thing, right? And so I knew after the breakup, I was like, man, I don't want to really do nothing else for the rest of the year. I just want to chill, and I just want to pop out next year. And it's like, it would have been so easy just to sit the rest of the season out. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, nah, bruh, you got to get up. You know what I'm saying? Take your moment. Like, okay, cool, that hurt. It didn't work out, but you still got to do what God told you to do. And when it comes to that fourth quarter elevation meetup idea, bro, I remember one night I was just talking, and Holy Spirit just dropped that joint in my brain, and I'm like, okay, fourth quarter elevation meetup, like, oh, like, you want me to get around, like, basically bring people together to sit and work on their goals, like write down their goals for fourth quarter, and basically give them the strategies to help execute those goals. And I'm like, yo, like, that's a great idea. Like, I actually want to do something like that every quarter. And so it was very important that I still did that joint even after the breakup, because it's like, it was a reminder of like, yo, you still got to show up. You know what I'm saying? Even when things don't go how you want it to go or how you thinking it was going to go, the whole thing, you still got to show up. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I struggle with that, because that's, you know how some of us are, like, when we go through something, we be ready to shut down the rest of the world. We don't want to do nothing. Like, we become paralyzed. And it was just like, I had just came out of a space of being paralyzed. And I was like, I ain't going back. You hear me? Like, I ain't going back, man. And so, shoot, I had kept kind of playing around in my mind, like, man, I'm going to do it. Man, I'm not going to do it. Woo. So I was just like, I had to make up my mind. Like, and I'm finna do this, bro. And it ain't about how many people show up. It's about you being obedient. It's about you doing what God told you to do. And so, man, I just started putting that junk together. And I remember being outside of church one day, and I was like, okay, Lord, I was struggling with finding an Airbnb for it, right? So, or a peer space. And I said, Lord, okay, well, if you want me to still do the meetup, show me. Like, show me the spot to host it. Do y'all know, bro, that same Sunday, this man showed me the location where I actually ended up having the event, bro. Like, it was just like, oh, here go Holy Spirit, man. Like, so, yeah, man, like, I still, like, planned the event. I got stuff done for the event. And, such a short amount of time. And one guy who showed up, my friend had asked him, like, yo, how did you hear about the event? And he was just like, yo, I was on Eventbrite and I seen it pop up, and I was like, dang, that sounds interesting. So, shoot, here I am. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't even going to do the Eventbrite page. I was just like, man, like, it already ain't finna be a whole lot of people. Like, I'm just, like, I ain't want to do it. And so I sat there, I figured out how to do it, and I did it. And so it's just like, just saying all that to say, like, you never know who gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? You still got to be active. You still got to do what you got to do. You still got to be obedient to the call. You hear me? So, yeah, man, take your moments. Whatever L's you feel like you're taking, they not losses, they lessons. And build from it, grow from it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on the journey, again, take your moment, but you got to still keep it moving. You hear me? So, yeah. But yeah, man, that's basically been my hiatus, y'all. Like I've been traveling. I feel like at this point, going back and forth, I done had like 15, 16 flights. You hear me? And this is the most I've traveled in my life. Do you hear me? Like when I tell y'all, God has literally overflow. Boom, boom, boom. Overflow. Oh, you hear me? Like, listen. If I can put a title on 2024, I would say overflow and fruit. And that's crazy because the word for the year at Transformation Church is fruit. Do you hear me? Like, yo, listen. If y'all don't know, bruh, listen. If you looking for some dope people to check out, and again, a lot of people not gonna agree with this, whatever, do what works for you, find the people that work for you. But I just want to take a moment to say shout out to Mike Todd and Transformation Church, because literally their whole goal is to represent God to the lost and found. And when I tell you that they have done that for me, like, I don't know if y'all see it, I got the represent chain on. Yeah, that's what that means. It's literally representing God to the lost and found. And so it's so dope. Like, I've been watching them for like 8 or 9 years. And yeah, man, they have represented God to me. And it's like, I'm literally where I am in this moment because of my relationship with God. And it was like, before I started watching Transformation Church, like, you know what I'm saying? I was still living life, just going through it, you know, like, and not even just like going through it as in like, oh, I'm struggling, but just going through it as in like, I'm just going through life, you know? But yeah, bro, like, it was like I found a church home. I started reading the Bible app, which is YouVersion. If y'all don't know about YouVersion, y'all go download it. It's dope. This is not sponsored. Listen, I know for me, when I first started trying to read the Bible as a teenager and all of that, I did not understand what it was saying. You hear me? I didn't understand what it was saying, what it was trying to say, nothing. And so literally, man, I started reading the YouVersion app, and they have like verse of the day. They got different Bible plans, and it's under like different categories. So if you struggling with whatever you struggling with, like, there's just a plethora of Bible plans that, like, it's scripture, it's devotional, like, it's a whole thing, man. It's dope. It's definitely, it met me where I was, bro. And so literally, like, and it's been a journey, but I'm just grateful to like just fast forward and be in this moment where it's like, yo, because God has been represented to me, I've been able to help represent him to other people. You hear me? So I'm grateful. Shout out to everybody over at Transformation Church. We appreciate all the work that y'all do. YouVersion, we appreciate all the work that y'all do. And yeah, it has even helped me find my church home, different people in my life, just all of that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. This has been long. I told y'all I get long-winded. I don't care. Hopefully you didn't got something from this. You hear what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been on a hiatus. I'm back. I'm excited to be back. And I'm not going on another hiatus until God say, yo, it's time to take a sabbatical and not do the podcast for a second. But I'm like, even with that, it's going to be pre-recorded episodes. So even when I do take my sabbatical, y'all not going to know. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Until the next episode, y'all, set it up and run it up per usual. Spend some time with God, man. Like I told you, I'll be doing intentional time and just relationship with God. It's about you just coming as you are. You know, feel me? Like, don't let anybody continue to tell you that you got to come buttoned up and you got to clean up before you come to him. No, God is ready to meet you where you are, but he is a gentleman. And so that means he's not going to come. I ain't even going to say he's not going to come to you because he's already here, but he's literally waiting on you to come to him. You feel what I'm saying? So set it up, run it up. If you're on Instagram, TikTok, all of that, follow me at Naye the Gem Dropper. You hear me? And this has been another episode of Elevation Talks.